What up, guys? Your host with the Moses, Mr. Johnson. We're back for another live edition of Level 5, coming high. Woo! And finally, y'all, we're getting ready to wrap up our boater education unit. Today's lecture of champions is going to come from page 36 through 40 on your boater ed manual. We got a few questions for you. We're going to wrap up your last boater education lecture / virtual video of champions for Wednesday and Thursday. That should leave you another week. My ideal dream world, February 17th and 18th is the days that I want your Type 600. Would really like to have those by then. My plan at the moment is to test y'all that day. So if you haven't had the opportunity to go to Walmart, please consider purchasing. Not mandatory, but strongly suggested. Hard work and determination. You'll be successful in the game of life. A dad joke before we get started? Yeah, Mr. Johnson. All right, great. This one comes from either Brandon Duffin or Leanna Gray, seniors here at Covington High School. And they sent it to me in a Google class. They asked, Mr. Johnson, why were the baby strawberries so sad? Because their ma and pa were in jam. Woo! All right, y'all. Anyways, page 36 through 40, on the water, unlawful operation. It's unlawful to operate a watercraft in a very negligent, reckless, or dangerous, improper speed. These things of this nature are vital, okay? One of the greatest temptations on the Sea-Doo 7000 available at Walmart is that you're able to go really fast, really quick, and you've got a whole lot of freedom and a whole lot of power. And for particularly young men, that's two kind of dangerous things. And so make sure that you follow this. Make sure that you understand what slow, no wake speed, or idle speed. That means stay as slow as you possibly can. Okay, you should not be able to produce a wake at that speed. All right. The next one it talks about unsafe conditions or boating near dams. You want to make sure if you're boating near dams that you have some previous knowledge of the dam. You have a lot of prior experience operating the boats. You also got to understand that large waters and volumes can be released. Place over by Nashville, we go by in between Nashville and Lebanon. I want to say Del Holler or something like that. It looks like they're releasing water all the time out there, particularly when there's a lot of rain in the Nashville area. And that thing looks uber powerful. It looks very pretty, but very powerful, okay? Also know that even during the summertime that a lot of cold waters can still be released. Anything less than 77 degrees. Never anchor your boat below a dam. If you hear lights or a siren, it's time to take caution and take wear. A couple of boating accidents in the past 2 years, particularly one with the Albany County, the fishing team there, needs to put a little more relevance or importance on this part and make sure that you take your time, you understand. And you got to understand not only how powerful dams are, but also how powerful water is. And you got to respect the water at all times that you're on there. All right. Obstructing navigation. Make sure, y'all, that you're not obstructing navigation. Homeland Security. Obviously, don't get next to the cool Navy SEAL boat or any kind of regular U.S. Navy or Coast Guard boat unless instructed to do so from the U.S. Navy vessel operator or United States Coast Guard operator. And I feel like if they're asking you to come closer, that means something is terribly wrong. And so keep a sharp eye out. I guess is one of the biggest things, common sense-wise, whether you're on your PWC or if you're on your boat. Keep your eyes out and make sure if you see something out of the ordinary that you report it in a quick and efficient manner. Last thing I want to talk to you about, and probably the most important part of today's lecture, is, of course, alcohol and drugs on a boat. The simple rule is don't drink and boat, okay? That seems pretty self-explanatory. It says here, alcohol and drugs can occur impaired balance, blurred vision, poor coordination, impaired judgment, and slower reaction time. Alcohol is a major contributor to boating accidents facilities. Tennessee law states that a person is presumed to be under the influence if the concentration of alcohol in his or her blood is 0.8% or more. All right. You may think, well, I'm not driving my truck. I'll go for a boat ride with a few Steve Weisers. All right. You can get what's called a BUI, or boating under the influence. Okay. You can similar punishments to a DUI, up to a year in the jail, 1129. I want to say a fine, 3,500. But what they don't say, in addition to all these rules and laws, is the following. Okay, you're going to have community service, for example, 50 hours minimum, could be up to 500. Insurance. If you got one of those bad boys on your record, guess what? You're going to be hard to insure. State Farm from Jake, Auto Advance, call the man from Geico, Farm Bureau, Michael Harris. All these fine folks are going to have a hard time insuring. You're going to have to buy something probably called like an AR-22, I think is the term. Those are very expensive, okay? If you're on federal water, federal things. But the big thing, y'all, is that a lot of people don't understand or respect alcohol. And I'm not going to give you the 45-minute lecture, champions, but understand this. You know, things that you do, similar to Hunter Ed with your firearm safety, you know, guns and alcohol don't mix. You know, never consume alcohol before, during operating a firearm. It's the same thing with your boat, okay? A boat can be a lethal weapon, a deadly weapon, okay? And if you are under blurred vision, coordination's gone, reaction time's slower, okay? Just because you feel fine, the power of alcohol is immensely more powerful in the water. A lot of people, they'll day boat, however you want to word that, and they'll get off the land late that afternoon or early evening, and all of a sudden they figure they can't walk, they can't move, right? The water make you feel like you're not as intoxicated as you truly are. Have a designated day. Does that make sense? That's my first rule. But probably the most important rule of all that, okay, is once you make a move or a judgment or a call, it's hard to take back. In fact, it's probably impossible to take back. So please, have somebody there, okay? Push come to shove, call me. I'll come get you. Now, you may get on a pretty long lecture, but I'll try my best to take care of you. Me and Ms. Johnson, whatever it takes. Just don't drink and boat, don't drink and drive. Any questions? You follow us on Twitter at COVFFA, at JJFFA, Instagram at COVFFA, at Jerry JJFFA. I'm going to mix it up. Facebook, and I'm also on West Tennessee Chickens. Good place. Woo!